Okay, Minuet 1. I have several people who are working on Minuet 1, so this is a really necessary video here. Minuet 1 is a very important piece. All the pieces we're going to be learning from now on are extremely important because they're real music written by real composers. Not that Mr. Suzuki wasn't a real composer, but a lot of the stuff that we learned before Minuet 1 are folk tunes or etudes. This is a real piece of classical music, and it's one that you will be playing a lot. It's a very useful tune to know. If you look at it, it's number 13 in book 1. You'll notice that it's really different than all the pieces you've learned before now, because look at all the different rhythms you have. And it looks so different. So we're going to start. The first thing I'd like to tell you about is look at the very first measure. We have a new kind of bowing where we go down, and then we're going to go up, stop, up. And it's important that your down bow, say if your down bow is 9 inches, then your up bows have to be 4.5 inches each, because you want to end up where you started the down bow. And so your down bow is pretty fast, and then your up bows have to be a little slower so that you don't, use up too much bow. So down, up, up. We've not done bows going the same direction before. We've always done bows going different directions. But this time we're going to go down, then we're going to go up, stop, up. The first measure has that rhythm in it with third finger. So you put your third finger on the A string and play down, up, up. Down, up, up. All right? The next practice point is the last note in the first line. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to start up bow because it's a pickup. We're going to play A3. Look at the last note in the first line. We're going to play A3. So up, down. We're going to do that again. Up, down. Stop the bow. Don't move the bow. Now put 2 next to 1 on the A string. And we're going to play, starting up bow, 2, 1, A, go to the D string and play 3. And then we're going to stop our bow, stop the bow on the D string, roll to the A string, but keep your finger down the D. Put 4th finger on the A and play 4. Up bow. Stop the bow, put 2 next to 1 and play 2, 1, A3 again. 2, 1, A, 3. Okay, let's do that again. This is a really important thing. You're going to be doing this a lot. Okay, so we're going to start up bow on the A. We're going to play A3. We're playing the last note of the first line. Then the first note of the second line. 3, down bow, stop the bow, put 2 next to 1 and play 2, 1, A3, up bow, 1, A, 3 on the D. Leave your third finger down, roll to the A, put your 4th finger down and play 4. Leave your third finger down when you play the 4. Now you can just reset your fingers, put 2 next to 1 and play 2, 1, A3 again. This is extremely important, okay? A lot of things going on here. If you look at the last line. You get to do this again. 2 next to 1, leave 3 down, play 4, stop, put 2 next to 1. You get to do it on the last line. So your efforts are not in vain. Now, look at the third line, the last 2 measures. It's the same thing, except it's on the E string. You're going to play 3 down bow, put 2 next to 1 and play 2, 1, E3. Leave down 3, play 4 on the E, stop the bow, put 2 next to 1 and do 2, 1, E3. And the important stuff, the really important stuff is to play, when you play that 3 on the D string, to play the 4 on the A before you pick that third finger up, because our third finger gives our 4th finger strength. It also tells our 4th finger where it should go down on the A string. And the same thing when you do it on the E and the A. Same thing. Leave the 3 down on the A when you play 4 on the E. All right? It's just extremely important, and we will have talked about this in your lessons. The other 2 things that you need to know in this piece, if you look at the third and fourth measures on line 2, that is a cadence. It's the end of that first phrase before the double bar, and it's on the D string, high 2, and it sounds like this. High 2, 2, 1 D, 2, 3. Starting down though. 2, 2, 1 D, 2, 3. Stop the bow. And we call that Please Give Me a Hug. Please give me a hug. So when you cadence on the D string at the end of before the double bar, you're going to play Please Give Me a Hug. Now, if you look at the first 2 measures of the 1, 2, the 4th line, that's a cadence also, but it's on the A string. And you're going to play 2, A, 2, 3. And we call that, I didn't make this up. Someone else told me this. I'm not a cow. I don't know where that came from. So 2, A, 2, 3. I'm not a cow. Now you may think this is silly, but believe it or not, people sometimes try playing Please Give Me a Hug on the A string. And when you're on the A string, it's not Please Give Me a Hug, it's I'm not a cow. And you will come to appreciate that, trust me. So anyway, those are the practice points on this. The other practice point I should need to tell you, we're in the key of G like we were for etude. So we have a low 2 on the A and on the E string. However, starting in measure 9, Mr. Bach decided to take a short trip into the key of D. So if you look at measure 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, he gives us C sharps. He takes them away in measure 17. So there, just for a few measures, Mr. Bach takes us into the key of D major. He does it with a sudden modulation out of G to D, and then he goes back from D to G with a sudden modulation. So I'll play this piece for you. All right, here we go. And it's important to try to get the bowings right. But what I'm more concerned with initially is that you get your fingers in your rhythm, especially these special things we talked about. And then I'll start barking about the bows. You must respect the bows. So I'm going to play this with the repeats for you. Here we go. Circle and repeat. A3, next to 1, next to 1. Reset your bow, 1 E. I'm not a cow. Reset, 1 E, 2. I'm not a cow. Also remember that minuets are dances, so we want them to sound dancey. We want to keep the same tempo. We want to keep a steady tempo, because if you're in a dance band, even if it was in the 17th, 18th centuries, they wanted a good dance band that could keep a steady rhythm so they could dance their minuets. So it needs to sound dancey, but it needs to keep a steady tempo. Practice. I love you.